Welcome to the BPM 360 podcast. I'm Russell.
And I'm Caspar. And together we will help you navigate the treacherous waters of the BPM adoption journey. I hope you enjoy the podcast.
Russell, good morning. Good morning, Caspar.
And how are you this morning?
I'm fine. I see you already heading out into the nature.
There's a park across my hotel. So I thought instead of doing it from a bit of a sleepy hotel room, I just go out in the park. I think it's a crisp 18, 19 degrees already in Krakow. And fortunately, I don't know how you look at it, but I'm heading out back home today. So it's always good to go home.
Yes, absolutely. And I always saw that on Instagram, you have your morning walks documented well. So going out into the nature, the only time it's quiet, you don't get maybe even bugged by people like me to have a chat with you.
Normally I have my morning walks typically somewhere between 6:30 and 7:30, so that's fine. But we're going to be talking about something else, I believe, right?
Yeah. So yesterday when we were talking and recording that short, you said, did you hear about this merger? And I thought, okay, super. I hadn't heard about it, and I just read up on it, and I said, oh, come on, I'll give you a call in your morning routine just to have a quick chat about this, because the one thing, so I guess maybe some people that are interested in this topic around BPM tools and enterprise architecture tools, there was a news announcement, and we could put in the link, maybe also a link to some of these news announcements that have been out there that BizDesign and MEGA are merging, and they've agreed upon to join forces. Yeah. So the intriguing part that I said, I want to speculate about that with you, is that they also announced that there will be another relevant player on the market, in business transformation market, joining them. So first of all, what is your take on this move? Is it something where we have like a market consolidation or more compatibility, where they are extending their capabilities, or is it more like they're extending their market reach by joining? And then what are the speculations around this business transformation partner that will also be joining this deal?
So first off, I mean, BizDesign and MEGA, but I think BizDesign more than MEGA is a pure enterprise architecture player. So BizDesign, you can model. I'll stop it there. You can model a process with BizDesign, but that's about as far as that goes, I would say. What I think is happening with this consolidation is that there is a lot of firepower on the market, and I think LeanIX being swooped up by SAP, ServiceNow is entering that market as well, which is a kind of a big player. Alphabet by Software AG always has been a big player in the EA space. I think that both BizDesign and MEGA figured out that they needed to join forces to stay relevant. That will be my personal take on that.
So the economy of scale.
I think it's the economy of scale thing, and I think it was let's give credit to the people who need credit, deserve credit in this case. So Mark McGregor is the one that dropped this first on LinkedIn yesterday. I saw a post of him sharing his ideas about this. I think the most interesting part is that it will be a 3-party merger, but the third party hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? That's it's triggering us all.
Us humans like to speculate, so why not speculate? But that should bring the business transformation capability, and I typically like to think that will be more a BPM focused party that will join that threesome.
Well, and I was speculating yesterday, and I asked a friend of mine what he thinks of this merger and who he would then think that the third party may be. And so I fed a ChatGPT with this news article, and I asked him to say, so who would you suggest? Yeah. And so
what did he come up with?
Well, actually, he came up with 2 ideas, and one of them was Software AG with ARIS.
Really?
Yeah,
ARIS.
and with ARIS, known for its robust ARIS platform, it provides advanced capabilities in process modeling. So, ChatGPT
Yeah,
started rambling, and I said, well,
yeah,
okay, that's it. And that goes in the direction of what you're saying about extending the capabilities in direction of, more BPM, business transformation oriented
yeah,
capabilities, where the other ones both are strong in enterprise architecture, more, application and IT design. So the other one that was mentioned by ChatGPT was Avolution. So with its
mhm,
Abacus a platform, which on the
yeah,
other hand is more like, again, economy of scale. There's definitely, if you look into the details, I'm going to be dissed if I publish this, but there was a yes, but
sure.
Abacus has this more as an advantage on capability. But ultimately, you have BizDesign and MEGA versus ARIS. You do have two different approaches and capabilities and strengths on the market. And I think they share, of course, the same industries and maybe a lot of customers, but they definitely have approached different use cases and people. So, but there's one thing that speaks against this, especially with the software G, is that the announcement said something about 600 employees and 110 million revenue. I haven't looked
Yeah,
at the numbers of Mega and Biz to see how they add up, and if that is the number that results from these two, or if that
yeah.
it will be the number that results from the three partners.
Oh, that's a big question, of course.
It wasn't, don't think it was quite clear. So I'm going to look at the numbers, see if they add up to the 600 employees, and then there would be space for saying, we're going to go with a big one. Yeah, but okay, that's a matter of what, financing it as well, so how does that
Yeah,
happen? Because I think now they're quite on eye level. But because then maybe it's a relevant player, but more niche player, smaller player. So I need to do the
yeah.
maths, but I need to keep
Uh,
on speculating, and I think that's just quite an interesting part. But one asked a question. So you said consolidation and economy of scale. Do you foresee and with LinkedIn, Lina sorry, and Signavio, of course, they're SAP definitely really dug into this market. Do you see that this is a general market trend? Because I think in the past there were never so many big mergers around BPM tools. There's still a very defragmented, a lot of small players um, out
yeah, but
there that are doing well. Or is
I
it
think,
now a time for
um,
consolidation?
I think, I mean, this market has been in, I wouldn't say turmoil, but the market has been moving already for some time, but it focused a lot on the process mining stuff. You see all of the process mining um, independent vendors being swooped up left and right.
Mm.
Mine it was acquired by Microsoft and so on. And there's a couple of more of these. UiPath swooped up Process Gold. Salonis and ARIS were already independent and too big to buy from that perspective.
GBTech but also bought a platform there. So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And I think that now that process mining market has been, well, I think it would be fair to say that that's almost consolidated at this point in time. There are some smaller fish on there that might be swooped up left and right, but I think now that they do that, and SAP starts to build out a quite a comprehensive suite of EA, BPM. Well, Signavio can do some mining as well. You see that other parties start to think about, should we consolidate BPM and EA? I mean, that to me is the major question, and that comes from this merger is, do we really need to merge them into one, given the fact, and here's my reasoning for that. I mean, API has become so good that for me, it doesn't matter if my EA capability is in my same platform or it's somewhere else. I simply bring the information over. And I can, because the audiences are quite different, I would say, between BPM and EA. Well,
Yeah,
again, just
that's a good point.
my
So
two
just taking
cents.
on that consolidation. So yes, you're right. The extending the capability reach, Celonis as an example, buying a BPM platform to
Yeah,
extend the
exactly.
capabilities that are expected by the customers. That all goes into the direction of a one-stop shop for all BPM use cases. Yeah, so you want to
Yeah,
extend your
exactly.
capabilities in order to have more relevance with your customers to cover several use cases. On the other hand, And I think here ARIS always has been a very complementary framework, a platform that's, that over the years always has had a wide range of capabilities, which also maybe makes it hard to say, okay, how do you fit that in with another player that only has a certain, topic? The ARIS Alphabet story fits into what you're saying because they've been two very separate use cases with a big overlap. And the integration has always been on a more, well, as you say, API level, data level. And a lot of use cases we have with customers is LeanIX covers its use cases. You need to, on the methodology side, do the integration, not necessarily have it in one platform. There's different users behind it and different use cases.
I agree with that. But even Software AG, who is I would say the front runner on BPM in the world anyway, they never decided to integrate EA and BPM into one platform. They always kept them apart because of the different audiences. I mean, I can see the benefit from having them in one platform because they are quite close, and the bridge is typically being gapped when you go from a capability model to a process model, or a hierarchy. But I mean, I don't know if it's a necessity to have them in one platform. So I'm really curious to see who that third partner is going to be, and I don't think it's going to be ARIS, for the simple reason that I don't think it would be sane to have a big brand like ARIS having to rebrand to something called BizDesign. No offense to BizDesign, but they simply not as big as ARIS. And the news article definitely said that it will continue under the name of BizDesign. So it needs to be something smaller than ARIS. Avolution might be. And there's some other small BPM tools that would bring that transformation capability to that new BizDesign, which is going to be quite a I would say a significant party on the market.
Yes, and we don't want to have this short being too long, or else it's not a short anymore. So maybe for anybody who's listening into this and have their own speculation on who the partner will be, any insights? Not that I'm going to start, speculating about buying shares or anything like that. No, seriously, but if anybody has any ideas on that or any comments on this topic of the consolidation of market, best of breed versus one-stop shop, and whatever other topics we can dig into, and if we get any updates on the news, we want to be on time in publishing our comments. If it's interesting for you or not, we'll see.
Exactly.
And Caspar,
just send out all the comments to questions@bpm360podcast.com.
Yes.
Or just post them as a comment on the LinkedIn post that we're going to be doing, and we'll get back to questions in different episodes. But I think it's absolutely brilliant, Russell. Let's see what the future brings for BizDesign and that mysterious partner number 3.
Yeah, the mystery tour. A very good idea from PR perspective. That really attracts people to talk. Yeah. So a bit more BPM gossip can never harm.
Yeah, it never hurts. So in this case, I would say to be continued.
To be continued. Take care.
Have a great day, Russell.
You too. Bye.
Cheers.